Welcome to All Indefinitely. Interviews and insights to empower you to achieve personal and professional success through friendships, relationships, and marriage. Here are your hosts, Anwar and Cyana.
Okay, so we're back here, and this time we have a very interesting topic. How have you been?
I'm good. I'm thinking about when you hit me with this topic on what's going on in the hip hop world. I didn't even know what was talking. I didn't even know all this is going on. I don't get to read this stuff, but this is very interesting.
Yeah, because I'm always finding information.
Are you one of those people that look at the celebrities and be like, what's going on with their life? Which, by the way, is not a problem.
Not really. No, I don't.
You don't follow celebrities?
I mean, I do follow them, but it's not like, oh, what's going on? I want to know. I just see the comments and stuff like going on, and I'm like, okay, now I want to know what's going on. God. But it's for certain specific things. Otherwise, I wouldn't care.
I just think that people do things for publicity's factor, and I just don't buy into it.
Well, that's the thing. I sometimes you don't know.
What we were talking about right now, you were saying that it's like it's like I think it's real.
We're talking about Kim Kardashian's divorce. And
Kim and Kanye,
and how Kanye doesn't want to accept that it's over, or at least that's what they're selling. And
so the title of the show today is Toxic Love.
Yeah, because for some people it is romantic, but some things, in my opinion, get to be toxic. And that's something that we need to talk about because it's a problem, And this time it's somebody that, it's a celebrity and people can relate. But I have people on my Facebook, for example, who post things that I'm worried about sometimes. Like, do you really think that this is okay? Mm-hmm. I don't know if that happens to you, but like things like if my husband wants to use my phone and have my passwords and do whatever, I'm like, okay, you need your independence somehow, like it doesn't mean that you're doing anything wrong, but why would your husband need your passwords?
Does your husband have your passwords?
No.
If he asked you for them, would you produce it?
I would give it to him, but that doesn't mean that he will have it. I can change it after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's the idea of no, you have to show me versus I'll let you, but you don't have to. So let me understand Kanye and Kim's situation a little bit more.
Okay, I'm not expert here.
Okay, I know. Okay. We're just on the. We actually have busy lives, and but from what you're a little bit more up in it. So I know they broke up.
Yes.
And I know that he bought a house
to
be closer to the kids.
To the kids, yes.
But now he's still in love with her?
Apparently, yeah. He's trying to, get her back or at least not achieve the divorce, the legal divorce.
The thing is Kanye West. I mean, he can have pretty much anybody he wants.
Well, yeah. Apparently, he just wants the mother of his kids. He was even dating somebody else, like this model, but apparently they're not dating anymore. Wow. Oh my God, you're so outdated.
I'm really outdated. What model was he dating? Do you know her name?
I don't remember her name, but
was she better looking than Kim Kardashian?
It depends. It depends on your
taste.
Your taste, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe for a Hispanic guy, if she was not, but I don't know. I really don't know.
What is that supposed to mean?
In my opinion, she was hot, but she was the type of like skinny, like the model looking woman, whereas Kim Kardashian has more curves. Yeah, so it depends on what you like.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, she could be a good person. I
mean, they probably both are. I have no doubt about it. Yeah.
I actually think highly of Kim Kardashian.
I do too.
Because we were telling when you were going to law school, you like Kim Kardashian. She's going to be a lawyer without even going to law school through California or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, and the reason why she was doing it is because she wanted to fight for people that were in jail with. And I was thinking like, okay, that takes away every bad thing that I ever thought about this.
Absolutely.
She's doing well. She's a great woman. She's like made a life for herself.
Yeah.
Which I'm very proud of. I don't know about her husband choices, but then again, I don't really very far removed from the situation.
Yeah. We only get what they want us to get. Yeah, exactly. So it's really hard to say. But anyways, it's the comments that he's made. Like he's been sharing private conversations with Kim's boyfriend, and I quote that because I have my doubts about that relationship as well. But like he's being really toxic. What I consider toxic. Some people think that that's romantic and that he's doing what he should so that he can get his wife back. But I feel that when you reach the end of a relationship, and in this case, it seems like she did, the other person should respect that.
When I would write my book and I would talk to people and talk to couples, and I told them about my own experiences that I've had with marriage and divorce and so on, and the fact that I always say, I never fought for my marriage once I realized that my ex-wife wanted to get a divorce. I never fought. I kind of said, like, are you sure? Are you understanding what you want to do and all these things? But I never fought, right? So the answer that I got, and this is overwhelming, the overwhelming response that I got with all the relationships that I describe and saying that, listen, you're the love of your life. You are the only person for you, and another person has to live their life. And you just can be good for each other. And when it's time to go, you achieve a divorce. And I said this over and over again.
Yeah.
Because it's the way I feel. The response I get is, that's only because you never really love someone.
Wow.
You never really love them. And I said, really? Because when you love someone, you want to fight for them. you wanna, and my brother said this. He said, sometimes you feel like you want to kill them, although you never will.
Oh my God.
You feel like you fight, like you just know that you love that person.
But see, that's toxic. Don't you think that's toxic?
This is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you for sure, for a fact, there's a lot of people out there that say, if you're not willing to fight, buy a house next door, send a truckload of flowers, like show up, like stalk them, then you don't really love them.
Yeah. Well,
you've never really been in love.
Well, I went through that in my first relationship in high school. Mm-hmm. When I broke up with my boyfriend, he would show up basically everywhere, even my house. Like I would get to my house from parties or whatever, and he would call me right away. This is Cuba, almost not 20 years ago, but like 15 years ago. And we didn't have cell phones. I didn't have cell phones. So he would call my house, my home line. Is that what I say? Online?
Yeah.
Okay. And at 2 a.m. and say, oh, so did you have fun? And I was, what? I was scared for a moment. I was scared because I was 18 years old and this guy was going like basically stalking me. And then he would show up to my family gatherings and he'd bring gifts for my family, things like that. And I always take that as a good experience for myself because I learned how bad that is. And to stay away from all that type of behavior, but some people see that as romantic, and because maybe I felt scared, that made me realize that this is not okay, but some people don't see it that way. They see it like, oh, he truly loved you. He was trying to do everything he could so that he could get you back, but calling at 2 a.m. into my house, like it's weird. That's
not really weird. That's like disregarding your parents,
completely
disregarding, like it's just on so many levels disrespectful.
Yes.
Because I mean that's just, and I know what you're talking about because I've heard stories like this before where it's the sense of jealousy, the sense of they're crossing the line of
correct
showing love by saying that they're trying to get you back.
Yes. And doing everything that they can when you already made a decision. So it's like, okay, you got to accept it. And I feel that, like you were saying, when you truly love somebody, if you understand that person, it's over with the relationship, it's done, you just accept it and you respect that and you go away, and yeah, you might suffer for a moment, or for days or weeks or years, but you understand that. And I think that's the best proof of love, the respect.
If I was in a relationship before, and the person that I felt was time to move on from, she was telling me how I'm just gonna get someone else. I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna have other sexual relationships with other people. I'm like, well, that's good for you. Fair enough.
Yeah,
go for it. And then the response afterwards was, "You're not jealous?" No, I'm not. I mean, that's what your choice was. You do your thing, and that's the whole thing. Like, there's this lingering thing, and I know we talked on this topic before, because, I mean, for me, it's always a relationship with yourself, and it's other people have to have relationships with themselves, and you kind of get to enjoy each other, but you also always know that it can be over any moment, and hopefully, you've made a good impression and they made a good impression in your life. But the second that they move on from your life, the idea that they have to stay with you or not anyone else doesn't bother me. Like you can, if I have a good friend of mine and my ex-wife wants to marry my good friend guy, go for it. Yeah. Doesn't bother me at all. I know that bothers you. You won't date your husband's friend.
Yeah, the other way around.
The other way around. Yeah. Because of other people's perception of you.
Yeah.
Not you, the other people's perception of you. Which is something that I think we need to work on too.
Yeah.
Because we're making decisions not based on our best interests, but on what other people would think about us. Which is important because we want to understand how people think about us, but at the same time, we always want to do what's in our best interest for growth, and that could be with people around us. But what I'm describing is, in my mind, not toxic. This is true love. When you care about somebody's going on to do whatever better in their own life at any moment. They don't owe me anything or do anything for me. And the idea of toxic love is kind of like you serve me.
Yeah.
And this starts in a relationship, not after the relationship. So the relationship you're describing with your boyfriend that you had in high school was toxic from the start.
Correct.
It was not toxic at the end.
Yeah.
That's a byproduct of what
happened
not doing
before.
from before.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So that's the important part of a toxic relationship is the toxic relationship starts by the idea that somebody is here to serve me.
Yeah.
And then when it's no longer, when you break up with that person, it's like, wait a minute, you can't go with somebody else. You're here for me.
Yeah.
You gotta, and you're going back, and it's toxic, but it's sad. It
is so sad. I just found this is a person I know, by the way, and I found a post right now, and what it says, it's do you want my password? Have it. Do you want to go look through my phone? Go ahead. Do you want to stay in and cuddle? I'm there. Do you don't like him or her? I won't talk to them anymore. I'll stay faithful to you 100%. I got nothing to hide from you, but I expect the same 100% back. Meaning that you expect that person to give you their passwords. You expect that person to stop talking to people just because you don't like them. Mm-hmm. And you expect that person to go through your phone whenever they want because that's okay. In my opinion,
that's where the toxic starts.
Toxic.
Yeah, it starts from the beginning. It starts from there.
How can you think that this is romantic? Being willing to give up all of your independence. Because here's the thing. I have nothing to hide, and Peter knows my password to access to my phone. He doesn't do it, but he knows it, you know? And I even told him where I keep like an entire page with passwords and everything in case something happens to me, because I watch a lot of, murder shows and, abductions. So I'm like, if I ever am in trouble, you want to give this to the cops, the paper is there, But that doesn't mean that he has access to it. That doesn't mean that whenever he wants, I can just walk him to the room and he's looking through my email. That's wrong. Right. That's not okay. He doesn't go through my phone, you know?
And by the way, you don't.
And it's the other, exactly. I don't do that at all. And I also know his password, but it's just like, no, there are boundaries, and that's part of your independence. And you want to feel that you have, even in a relationship, you have your own self and you have your own pictures that you don't want your partner to see, or your own, whatever the case might be. I don't want to go through that because it can be anything, and I don't want to be incriminating myself here. But it's just like, and not only that, but the fact, you don't like this person to talk to, I won't talk to them anymore. Mm-hmm. What is that? And I've experienced that firsthand with people who I thought were my best friends, and all of a sudden their girlfriends, wives don't want them talking to me, and they're not friends anymore, and that's so sad.
Yeah. And there's always going to be this hierarchy of people that you're in a relationship with. Your spouse is supposed to be the overwhelming 100% right choice for you to make at all times. Yeah. Win or lose. For example, if you have a spouse that wants to go drink beer, not a problem with beer. I drink beer too. But then you have some girlfriends that want to go to a picnic.
Yeah.
And you pick the girlfriends you should have picked him first. Like that person comes first. That's
Yeah.
also toxic. You know,
Yeah.
the idea that this person has to be number one at all times
Yeah.
is a toxic thought.
It is.
It's
yes.
wherever you want to do at your in your mind. I know we're making this very, very simple, but it's actually a big problem. I mean, it starts from the beginning.
It does.
And it carries on. Yes, giving someone your password. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
That's how I got beat up in Thailand. I got beat up in Thailand.
Oh my God, you got to tell this story.
So I was in Thailand with a woman that I was with, and she wanted to check my phones because I have female staff that works for me. And so she was like, why do you have to have female staff? Why not have just males? I don't understand why you have. And she would say, you're bitches.
Oh God.
And I was like, I don't think they're bitches. And I think they're really smart people. And I don't know why. I mean, I never stopped anybody from applying. It's just, that's what happens. Well, you don't have to text them.
Huh.
Okay. And then she's like, let me see what you text them.
Oh
So
my
here's where I
God.
messed up. I said, yeah, sure. I mean, you can see there's nothing that I'm texting anything wrong. And basically it was a WhatsApp chat that we had because I'm in another country. And basically they're asking questions. What should I do about this? You know, very boring stuff. You know, we have a scenario going on, you know, whatever. What do I do?
But personal life or work
No,
related?
all work related.
Oh, okay.
All work related. And just boring business conversations.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw myself like looking at this and everybody else I didn't. I'm like, I'm that guy. I'm that guy that shows
Yeah.
like you have to take my phone. You have to look at everything. You get to choose everything. And I said, I'm going to change my password. I said, I don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So I changed my password and then I went to sleep. She called me. She was down at the pool by the hotel. And I said, I'm really tired. I really want to just spend the whole day in bed, you know, right now. And I'm ordering. I said, order what you want on the pool and just put it on my tab. We're
Right.
all good. And then she comes back upstairs and I'm sleeping. And my iPhone has the face recognition. So I'm feeling the bed move a little bit, like jostle around a little bit. And she's waving the phone in front of me because I obviously couldn't open the phone. So she's waving the phone in front of me, hoping that I would open my eyes and then the phone will be unlocked
Oh
and
my
then she can see
God.
what I changed my password for. And obviously I looked at her and it didn't work. And I was like, what are you doing? Give me my phone. And she's
Yeah.
like, why'd you change your password? What do you have to hide?
Oh my God.
I said, I have nothing to hide. I just think that this is ridiculous at this
Yeah.
point. And she said, you're lying to me. You have something to hide. And you know, it shows like that I received text messages and it has the name of my staff member on there. And and it's like, so she sees that name, but she can't read the message.
Right.
And she's like, I want to see what this was said because all of a sudden you changed your password and that's
Oh
very
my
suspicious.
God.
And I said, no, I'm not changing it. This is ridiculous. I have nothing to hide and I'm not going to be that guy anymore. So she says some choice words for me, called me asshole and stuff like that, whatever. And threw my phone at me. So I put the phone on the nightstand next to me and go back to bed. She goes in the bathroom in the shower. Now she's taking off her clothes to go take a shower. I don't know what possessed her to peek her head out the window, but at that same time, at the door, at the same time, I said, well, let me look at what the message was. And then she looks at me, she says, now you want to check your phone when I'm not here? She dives like a Superman dive with no clothes on me and starts wrestling for the phone. I wrestle my phone away and run to the door and she grabs her purse and starts hitting me over the head with it. Give me that phone, give me that phone. Like, holy shit. I'm in my boxers because I'm like, I was in my
You were
sleep.
sleeping.
And I was like, run out the hallway, run down the hallway, and then they go after her. And the crazy thing about this is that I started this.
Yeah.
And it goes on the whole thing, and we'll talk about that. I think I told the story, and it's in my book, I think. But I started this toxicity the second
Yes.
I gave her access to my phone.
True.
I was the problem there.
Yeah.
I should have said then, no, I don't do that.
Yeah.
You want somebody else, you can go do that right now.
Exactly.
And a lot of times, how you love someone, you teach them along the way on what you will accept and not accept. But you don't have to prove it.
Exactly.
If you have to prove it, it's not even there or worth it.
Exactly.
I never had to prove my love to her. I always did. I just always cared. And I should have always said that from the beginning, and I did. And I'm very, very careful about those, things. So I don't tolerate things very, very much. So let's say, for example, I get in a relationship now. If you go through my phone, I don't delete photos and stuff like that. So if you go through my phone, you'll see previous relationships and loving pictures together, and those little picture montages of that Google sends you once in a while.
Yeah.
I never delete them. I think they're great, and I will never delete them. Mm-hmm. But it's always like you get in a relationship with someone, and they feel like you have to delete those.
Yeah.
What are you still looking at?
And
them?
From social media too.
You have to delete it off your social media. Well, I don't even post much on my social media, but what I'm going to start posting now as I travel the world.
Yeah.
But do you look at your previous relationship? Like, do you want the spouse to delete all their previous
Of course
pictures?
not. No, not at all. Like my ex-boyfriend would think like that. Oh no, you got to delete everything. I'm like, why would I? That's part of my life.
What if you never really loved anyone before? What if that was the case? They're going to say that. People will say, there's someone that's listening somewhere that's going to say, you just never been in love before. That's why you so easy to walk away, or that you don't want to fight for your relationship.
Well, personally, I would say that this person still lacks some experiences in life, and it's welcome to receive it anytime, whenever life thinks it's the moment. But in my case, I was deeply in love with this person, and our relationship ended. But that doesn't mean that I have to delete the pictures from social media, because he was a part of my life. Mm-hmm. And not to mention how ridiculous that is. Like, everybody saw those pictures and they were there, and now you just deleted it because that's not a part of your life anymore. I don't know. To me, I'm not saying you don't delete any at all. I think some pictures you
so like
should.
If you have like a kissing photo on there,
maybe you can just delete.
It's in poor taste, probably.
Yeah, but if you have
maybe off your social media, but do you delete those photos from your phone?
Oh, not at all.
Okay, because that's your phone.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because this is a story. Peter, we have on our TVs when they like the screen lock, let's say, or whatever. Is pictures that we have on our phone just because they're connected to our Amazon account, right? And Peter has his phone saves all the WhatsApp images into like the phone itself. It doesn't happen with mine. And he had like naked women.
What?
That apparently, because he has his paintball team.
And they're posting
the
photos?
group chat, and they posted pictures. Oh, that's what he said, and I believed it. And they sent those pictures whenever, all of a sudden, on our TV we had at home, we have naked women showing.
What did you do? Did you get mad at him?
I'm like, Peter, what is this? He's like, oh my God, this is the guys. They sent this picture. I just believed him. Like, I'm okay with that. It's just, I thought it was funny, the fact that, oh my God, like, imagine if it's another guy or something in my case, I don't know, like, that would be uncomfortable. In this case, it's not a big deal because it's just a random woman. But if it's somebody I know, I would be troubled, like, why would you have a naked woman still on your phone? Odd. And then especially now that woman's showing on our TV, like, so no, that's different. But in general, no, like, I don't know. I would respect if he had that, because I feel that's a part of his life. I
have the remedy to the problem. This is the remedy to the problem. You should never, ever, ever be jealous of anyone for any reason.
Yeah, that's so easy to say.
It's difficult, right?
Yes.
You get jealous?
A lot. Yeah.
The toxicity starts with jealousy.
Yeah.
And there's people that say that, well, I'm just a jealous person.
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to do about that?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to tolerate it. You know, these little acts of jealousy get to big acts of toxicity.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Because it's in and people confuse jealousy for love.
Yeah.
And caring for control.
Some people do, though. Like, I don't like, because I did it in the past. Like, and especially for Hispanic cultures, you think that the way to prove love is by being jealous. Oh, who were you talking to and what were you doing? I'm showing my love. And now I see that as toxic, and I don't want somebody doing that to me, and I don't do that to anybody. In fact, I joke with Peter when I do that. I'm like, who were you talking to? It's completely joking. Like, I would never do that because I feel that's so odd. Like, what the hell are you doing? Like, he can talk to whoever he wants, But I am jealous. I don't know what's worse, but I think I'm more like possessive. Like, I tried, not like in a bad way, maybe if there's a good way to say this. Like, I feel that I want to like protect the people around me. Like I want to protect my friends. I want to make sure that my friends are okay. I want to make sure that my partner is okay, that my family is okay. And by doing that, I tried sometimes to impose what I think is best for them, when in reality it's their decision to make. So this is something I struggle with, in the sense that I want to control it. I want to make sure that it's not toxic, but it's like kind of like part of my personality already. So it's hard to deal with it, but I do recognize that it's wrong. So, when it comes to I don't know, we break up, then I have to control that feeling, because it's not, a person I should worry about anymore. You know what I mean? But,
and that's the problem. You said it yourself. You said like, you want the best for your friends and your family and the people that you're in a relationship with. So you want to have control over that, over whatever they're doing or whatever they're saying. And I understand that, because if you have children and you care about your children, you want to have control over your children so that you can be a better parent. I understand that. But here's the problem with that, is that whenever you say that you want to protect someone, you're also saying, I want to take away your rights.
Yeah.
I want to take away your freedom. I want to take away your decision making.
Yeah.
And you can do that with children, because in children, you're responsible for them and you have to bring them up to a certain standard, and hopefully they can be better people. But with adults that you have friendships and relationships with, every single time you say that, you're saying, okay, I want to protect you, so I'm going to lock you in this car.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to lock you in the room. I'm going to protect you. I'm doing it out of love.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
No,
this is not something that you should be worried about. If you want to love somebody, you trust me, life is going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
It's always going to be, something's going to happen to you. Something can happen wrong all the time. But if you go through life worried about those things, Alan Watts said that. He's a philosopher. Love Alan Watts. And he said that and I'm not quoting exactly, that the fear of death is death itself.
Yeah.
And the willingness to live despite death is life.
Yes. That's so true.
So when we say that we want to like control people, or we want to show them a better way or whatever, the only way to do that is to let people live.
Yeah.
And you can have a better life yourself that way too. But this idea that we have to control others and help them and do things for them, and we love them and they have to serve us, and we're going to like check their phones and make sure they're not cheating and do all these things, that is toxic.
It is.
The second you see it from the first time, I always listen in the second, like I always listen.
Yeah.
But if I don't have any photos that are any good, like if I open up my phone, like I don't have to check over my shoulder before I look open my pictures, which I am not proud of. I wish I could say, hold on, let me look around and see if I can open up my photos.
Be like Peter and have pictures showing on the TV.
That would actually like make me smile inside a little bit. But and I forget where I'm going with this, but I want people to understand that, you have to not be worried about other people telling you, and this is what I was going to say, actually, I remember now, is that if I see somebody looking at my picture on my phone and saying, what do you have that photo in there? Take it out. I say, no, you change your mind.
Yeah.
And I do it from the beginning.
Yes.
And the second and I have better relationships since I started that.
Yeah.
When I had that toxic relationship, I would appease the person, and I got beat up in Thailand. Yeah. And by the way, the end of the story, she took my passport and I couldn't leave, and it was a
it got even worse.
Worse. And these things escalate like this.
That's a problem.
Someone saying, "Let me see your phone," or "Let me see your pictures on your phone," or "Let me have your password."
Or who were you talking to?
Or I get I used to get this. I used to get like I see a text message and I smile and I'm replying to the text message, and I said, "Why are you smiling?
Yes.
Who are you texting?"
Yes.
My answer to that is, it depends on how you want me to answer that. If you asking because you want to smile with me, or you asking because you want to like control me, I'll answer my question based on that. But I stop it instantly.
Yes.
It is impossible for me to have that. And it's not because I don't absolutely love everyone. I absolutely, true to my heart do. But it's because I reject jealousy and I reject toxicity.
Yeah. So. I think that you said it the best way. It's like you're taking that person's freedom away. Mm-hmm. So if you're a fairly good person and you have this in your mind, I think that would stop you from doing that. Like you are taking that person's freedom away. I'm going to say it again because I think it's important. Like
Yeah.
You are stopping that person from growing, stopping that person from being better, like that. And it's not only your partner. It happened to my dad the other day in Cuba. He wants to buy a motorcycle, an electric motorcycle. In Cuba now, they're beating people or killing them to steal it. The situation is so bad. Yeah. And my dad wanted to get it because they're, taking the bus, which is even worse.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no. You cannot take that motorcycle. You cannot buy it because they're going to beat you up and you're going to get in trouble, whatever, just because of that.
Right.
He's like, yeah, but I'm taking the bus. I'm like, that's okay. You can walk. And then I was like, after, we hung up, I said, no, not to that. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
First of all, it's my dad. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And second of all, I'm making him going through more struggle just so that my peace of mind, just because of my peace of mind. Oh, he's fine. He's healthy. Nobody will try to steal anything. Of course, because he doesn't have anything.
Right.
So yeah, that's completely wrong. I recognize
that's your own
it.
anxiety going on. And I know that it happens. I understand that bad things happen and they always will.
Exactly.
But if you lived your life that way, you wouldn't do anything.
Exactly. And then what's worse, I'm taking his freedom away.
Yeah.
So it's even worse. So yeah, we are out of time.
Out of time already?
Already, yeah.
Okay.
That was great. We still have to take a rain check for our question, but it was a great topic, toxic love and how to deal with breakups. It was great.
I really do hope this gets people having the conversation in their relationships of jealousy and stopping the toxicity from its inception.
Yes.
So that it never turns into anything. And
exactly.
we understand that. So I hope other people got from that.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. And we want to thank our sponsor.
Yeah, American Worldwide Academy. Thank you for sponsoring us. If you need help getting your high school diploma or online career training certificate, go to careerhighschool.com or call 305-456-5948.
5948. Thank you.
Bye.
You've been listening to All Indefinitely. Help us spread the word by subscribing and sharing the show.